Inattention to the guest list could have cost Britain dearly. Luckily, the future heir to the throne had a good advisor. Today, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are rightly regarded as a model of impeccable behavior, both when traveling abroad and during British outings. However, the nation's favorites have not always been distinguished by diplomacy. William and Catherine made embarrassing mistakes, even in the process of planning their own wedding. Prince William was second in line to the British throne, and his wedding was to be held at the highest international level. However, for some reason, the Duke of Cambridge did not invite Crown Prince Felipe, who became King of Spain in 2014, to the celebration. As reported in a 2011 article in the Daily Telegraph, the Spanish royal family felt offended when they did not find the heir's name on the guest list. Spanish officials were astonished. This is very strange. Only King Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia were invited. However, by some miracle, the scandal was avoided. Journalist Tim Walker explained. What particularly offended Prince Felipe, who, like Prince Charles, is the great-great-grandson of Queen Victoria, was that in Westminster Abbey, there was time for the owner of the tile company Manuel Calancas and his wife Delphine. At Felipe and Letizia's wedding in 2004, the Prince of Wales was the guest of honor and attended both the ceremony and the banquet that followed. An insider claims that in the end it was Charles who insisted that Felipe and Letizia also be sent an invitation to the gala. Ironically, the forthcoming wedding of Prince William's cousin, Princess Beatrice, is no stranger to discussion, despite the fact that Her Highness is only ninth in line to the throne and has no claim to the crown. The reason for this was first the sex scandal surrounding her father Prince Andrew, which put the ceremony in danger of cancellation. Now journalists are wondering whether Dara Huang, the ex-groom B's lover, with whom, according to insiders, Eduardo still maintains an overly warm relationship, will be invited to the ceremony. The presence of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at the wedding is also still in doubt. This is because they referred to Princess Beatrice and Eugenie in a very negative way in their official statement. However, Harry and Meghan have been given a kind of probationary period, during which the couple must not be involved in any scandals, so it is likely that the couple will still arrive to congratulate the prince's cousin and her future husband. The Prince of Wales' sweetheart, who waited for the cherished day after decades of trials, was extremely excited on the eve of the marriage. The love story of the Prince of Wales and Camilla Shand is far from a perfect love story. It took the couple decades to overcome all the obstacles that stood in their way and finally consummate their relationship. In February 2005, almost 10 years after the two divorced, Charles and Camilla announced their engagement. The prince's sweetheart then showed the public the ring that once belonged to his grandmother, the Queen Mother. As both the bride and groom were divorced, there could be no talk of a pompous royal wedding in the best traditions of the British court. Charles and Camilla opted for a modest civil ceremony at Windsor Town Hall. There were their children William, Harry, Tom and Laura, two on each side as they took their vows. Nevertheless, Camilla has had her fair share of uncomfortable moments ahead of the big day. During a Channel 5 documentary, royal expert Jenny Bond said, "I think Charles always wanted to make Camilla his bride and wife. I think he realized how much negative criticism she had endured over the years, accepting everything with dignity, and all he wanted was to make her his wife." But Mrs. Parker Bowles' status as the heir-apparent bride raised concerns, including her own. Commentator Carol Malone, she was terrified that no one would come and was very afraid of being judged. "I saw the footage taken around 6 a.m. and there was nobody on the streets of Windsor at the time. I also remember it was very cold. She must have been worried that no one would show up. As a journalist, I watched the whole thing and thought that the only reaction to the event would be apathy from the nation, which is no better than a protest. But by 10:30 the streets were already packed with people." Elizabeth II and Prince Philip did not appear at the civil ceremony. This was not a matter of the monarch's disfavor, but of her role as head of the Church of England, which she felt prevented her from attending. Still, the blessing of the newlyweds in St. George's Chapel was attended by both the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh. The bride and groom were pictured together on the steps of the chapel with the Queen. Becoming Charles's wife, Camilla automatically became Princess of Wales, but out of respect for Diana's memory, the woman chose not to use the title. She is known by her husband's ducal title, given to her by the Queen on her wedding day. Every year, the royal family gathers at Sandringham to celebrate Christmas with Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen and her husband, King Philip, are among the most important events of the festive day. Everyone knows that even over the Christmas holidays, the royal family has traditions that are followed not only by the children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren of Elizabeth II, but also by the Queen herself and her husband King Philip. It has long been known that the family has a tradition of giving each other playful gifts. For example, Princess Anne once gave Charles a leather toilet seat, which, incidentally, he often takes with him on trips. It is no secret to the British, and that after all the gifts are distributed, members of the royal family take part in a friendly game of football with the workers from Sandringham. However, it turns out that the Windsors have other Christmas traditions that are not known to the general public, and they concern themselves mostly with Christmas dinner. So, it was recently revealed that Christmas is the only day of the year when the Queen enlists the help of a professional makeup artist. The rest of the time Her Majesty does not use the services of makeup artists and puts on makeup every day. Another little-known fact about Christmas at Windsor is that during the festive dinner, all the children in the house eat at a separate table. In fact, the Queen is extremely demanding when it comes to Christmas dinner. She personally plans every detail. Seating of guests, food choices, making sure the table is set properly, and that everything goes according to plan. How does Meghan Markle look in Kate Middleton's wedding dress? Royal fans have discovered an unusual similarity in the gowns both daughters-in-law chose in 2011. Before Prince Harry, Meghan Markle was already married. The actress first married in September 2011, choosing to tie her life together with Hollywood producer Trevor Engelson, whom she had been with since 2004. The bride was 30 and the groom 35. The celebration was held in Jamaica, where guests hit a multi-day beach party. And the couple's outfits were perfectly in keeping with the chosen location. Meghan and Trevor tied the knot at the Jamaica Inn in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. The boutique hotel with 55 suites and cottages, set on a white sandy beach near palm trees and turquoise water, welcomed a number of the couple's guests, their family and friends. Among them was Meghan's mother Doria Ragland, with whom the bride was pictured in a swimming costume shortly before the ceremony. The dress Miss Markle wore on her first wedding day was a strapless white model with a short and narrow bodice, a silver belt embellished with large crystals, and a moderate hem that falls in thin pleats to the floor. And royal fans are finding that it looks a lot like Kate Middleton's wedding dress. Not the one in which Prince William's chosen one married him at Westminster Abbey, but the one in which the Duchess of Cambridge held a celebratory reception on the evening of the same day. The public noted that both weddings took place in the same 2011 wedding year, which may have had something to do with following the same wedding fashion trends. Catherine wore an Alexander McQueen gown of smooth ivory silk to the reception at the palace. A strapless model with a structured bodice and a not-so-puffy skirt was adorned with a belt made of several rows of large crystals. The bride completed it with a cropped, fluffy Angora cardigan. Cambridge's hairstyle also changed slightly after the wedding ceremony. The Duchess flicked back the strands, revealing her signature large curls. Meghan also had her hair loose on her first wedding day, which was in perfect harmony with the atmosphere of the occasion. Trevor, for his part, eschewed the classic suit and chose white trousers and a shirt for the occasion. But for the day of the wedding with Prince Harry, his bride prepared herself more thoroughly. Meghan wore a rather understated dress, but it was offset by a richly embroidered veil. It was paired with a bundle at the back of the bride's head, which she also maintained for the evening reception when the long-sleeved Givenchy gown was replaced with a Stella McCartney model with open arms and back. What did film and music stars wear to meet Princess Diana, the leading style icon of her time? We show you some of the most memorable outfits. Princess Diana was one of the major style icons of the 80s and 90s, if not the most influential fashion figure of her era. Unsurprisingly, those lucky enough to meet the Welsh one thought long and hard about what to wear for the occasion. Having had the chance to mingle with Diana at various events, celebrities chose really interesting outfits which celebrities wore to meet the Princess of Wales. Elizabeth Taylor knew almost all of the Windsors perfectly well, befriending and then competing with the royals. She crossed paths with the Princess of Wales in 1982 when she was pregnant with her firstborn. Her Highness wore a romantic dress with spectacular puffed sleeves, the star a Victorian muslin dress with a high collar, unexpectedly restrained and modest for an actress who loved the deep cleavage and lots of glitter. However, this was explained by the fact that Liz had not changed her costume after her charity performance of The Little Foxes.